Hello iPad letterers, it's so nice to see you. My name is Karen, I'm from iPad Lettering and I'm here to help you get the most out of your iPad, whether that is with lettering or art or journaling. In today's Letter With Me video, we are going to practice the extended script font together. This is due to popular demand. Every time I post one of my lettering pieces with this style on Instagram, everyone asks me, how do you do this? Can you please do a tutorial? So here it is. So you can see this lettering style is super versatile. It looks really nice and elegant, and it really lends itself to many different lettering pieces. I'm also using this lettering style for some of my journals, so you can see this is super versatile and really worth practicing. So now let's go to the Procreate app and let me show you how this works. I've made a set of practice sheets to help you practicing, but also to demonstrate all the letters here. The first thing you notice is that we have really thin lines here. So it's a really elegant script font, and then the letters are not too close together. So after every letter, there's quite a bit of a distance before you start your next letter. I've also made a new brush for this. This is called iPad Letter Together November 2020 brush, and this brush really lends itself for this lettering style. Before we start practicing these letters, I actually recommend that you do some warm-up drills. You can see that we've got really thin upstrokes, and we've got some thick downstrokes, and then we've got some swashes, and they are all very extended. If you're used to traditional modern calligraphy, you might find it a little bit hard to create these extended strokes, but that's what we've got the practice sheets for with these lines, so you can do some warm-up drills first. And to start with, I recommend that you just practice your thin upstrokes. So all you have to do is create this upstroke swash and then try and stop it at the intersection here. So we're just going to do this a few times, really thin upstrokes. And then we are going to do a swash and a thick downstroke like this. So we're going to create a swash and a thick downstroke. So you can do this a few times. And then what we're going to do next is do two swashes in a row. So we're going to do a swash, we're going to do a thick downstroke, and then an end swash like this. And this is probably the drill that you want to practice the most, because this is super useful and this is very helpful when you start practicing the letters and also the words. So now let's go through the whole alphabet and let me show you the difference between the normal modern calligraphy style that I normally use and then the script style font. So normally you would start with a thin upstroke, and then you will create the downstroke really heavy. So on both the oval and then also on the downstroke, you would create the thicker stroke. But you can see that the difference here is that we're only putting the thick downstroke on the front of the letter, and then we are creating only thin strokes afterwards. So let me show you how this works. So we're going to start by creating a big swash to start with. And then we're only going to create the thick stroke here. And now to finish the A, we are just going to make this thin swash at the end. And one of the things you notice here as well is that the A is only really small. It doesn't use up the whole X height, but it's only a small letter. And then usually what I like to do as well is create the A in one stroke. So this is what it looks like. So you're going to have the beginning swash, and then we create the rest of the letter in one stroke like this. Now let's carry on with B. This is quite different as well. Normally when you create a B, you also create a little loop here like this. And then of course in your downstrokes, you're putting more pressure on like this. But with the extended script, what we're going to do here, we're going to start with a swash, and we're going to take the stroke all the way here at the top. And then we are going to create a thick downstroke. And then the belly of the B is only going to be a thin stroke. And we're going to finish it with a swash again like this. Next up we have the C. The C is pretty similar. It's not too different from the normal C that you would normally create. This is a normal C. And then with our extended script, we would just create the C like this. And then at the end, we will create the swash like that. Now, the D is a little bit different from all the other letters. The D is the only letter that has two thick downstrokes. I'm going to show you the traditional modern calligraphy D first. So this is what it looks like. And really only the difference here are the swashes at the beginning and at the end. Now, if you wanted to, you could make the D similar to the A. So what that would look like is like this. The reason why I'm creating the D more like that is because the D is followed by an A quite quite often, and then the two letters look quite similar. So I prefer them to look a little bit different when they're connected. Now the E, traditional, and then with our extended script. The traditional F has a little loop here at the top and then finishes like this. And the extended script F doesn't have to loop. So again, we're going to do the swash here and then pull up the stroke to the top and then finish it like that. This is the normal G. With the extended version of the G, again, we are only going to make the start of the G thick, and then the remainder here is going to be thin. You can also make the descender quite exaggerated if you would like to, so that gives it a little bit more elegance. And then we're going to go to H. Normally H also has a loop here at the top and it has two thick strokes, but in the extended version we only have one thick stroke, and then that second part of the H is going to be all thin. The I is pretty similar to the normal version, except of course we have the swashes again. So now with the I, one of the things you might like to do is actually practice stopping here and then starting again, because this is usually a letter that you want to use to break up your word. Sometimes it can be difficult to keep writing because the words tend to become quite large. So what you can practice here is just create your upstroke and then move over to the right ever so slightly before you start the downstroke, and then finish with the swash. And this creates a really nice connection here between the upstroke and the downstroke. And then the normal J looks just like that. And then the extended version is pretty similar. Again, we just have the swashes here. And if you would like to, again, you could make the descender a little bit larger here as well. Then we have the normal K. Again, this would have a little loop here at the top, but then the extended version doesn't have that loop. It just goes like this. And then it'll only have thin strokes to finish the letter with. This is how you traditionally write the L. The extended version of the L can be a little bit tricky. So what I recommend that you do here is take the stroke to the top and then almost start the downstroke before you start pressure on. So you're creating almost a little S curve here. I'm exaggerating this quite a lot now, but just to show you what this looks like. And then similar to how we've done the I, you want to move a little bit further to the right before you start the downstroke. And then we're going to finish with the swash at the end. And then the M, you can see, is a little bit different as well. So traditionally you will create the M like this, and that would have 3 thick downstrokes, which looks something like this. But in the extended version, we're only going to have 1 thick downstroke. And then what you can do here, what looks very nice, is if you make that second stroke a little bit thinner and then the third stroke a little bit thinner again, and that creates a really nice looking M. And then the letters N to Z are on a new sheet. So let's carry on with a new sheet. N is quite similar to M, except it's only got 1 second stroke here. The traditional N looks like this, with the 2 thick downstrokes, but then in the extended version we only have 1 thick downstroke, and then everything else is going to be thin. The O is actually one of my favorite letters in this lettering style. So traditionally the O, I would create it like this, but in the extended version I really like making the O really narrow. And then also the loop here, I don't like this to be too big, but just make it quite small. You could make this even more elegant if you wanted to by making the O ever so slightly smaller, the same as we've done with the other vowels. It can look really nice to make them a little bit smaller and to make them even more elegant. And then we're going to carry on with the P. The normal version looks like this, and then the extended version again doesn't have 2 thick downstrokes but only has 1. And then when you create the rest of the P, you just don't put any pressure on. Carrying on with the letter Q, traditionally I would create the Q like this, but in the extended version of course we're going to start with the big swash again, and then you have the choice here whether or not you want to make this a little bit smaller, and then finishing the letter like this. And then the R can be a little bit tricky because it almost looks like an I. The only difference here is this little stroke here. It's only really subtle, but I really want to keep this letter quite elegant as well. Traditionally my R would look like this. And so in the extended version, what I recommend that you do is target your upstroke to finish around here, and then you can create the little downstroke and then the thick downstroke like this. So let me show you what this looks like. So we're going to start with the upstroke, finishing around here. And then the next part of the stroke is only thin. And then you're going to put the pressure on and then you're going to finish it like this. And then carrying on with the S. That's what it would look like in the traditional sense. But this is quite similar. So the only thing we're going to add here are the swashes. And then we're going to carry on with the T. And usually I create the T like this. But of course now we are going to add the swash as well. So this is very similar to the L. The only difference here is that we are going to have a crossbar. Now with the crossbar you have a couple of options. You can either create it like this, so it crosses here. But I know some people don't like this so much. It can look a little bit messy. So what you can do instead, if you would like to, you can actually make the crossbar at the top like this. And this can look very, very elegant as well. And then with the U as well, you can see that the first downstroke is thick and then the second one is not as thick. And also the second part of the U is a little bit smaller. I don't pull it all the way up to the X height. I like leaving it a little bit shorter. So traditionally the U would look like this. And then the second part of the U has the same thickness and also the same height. But in the extended version, what I like to do is create the thick downstroke, and then the second part of the U is a little bit thinner, so it looks a little bit more elegant like this. And then with the V, sometimes some people create a little loop here, but with the extended version of the V, I don't like creating the loop, so all I do here is have the thick downstroke, thin, and then create the swash to finish the V. And very similar with the W as well. Traditionally, I would create the W like this, and then even have a little loop here, but the extended version only has the swash and then the thin finish. Traditionally, the X that I would create looks like this. So this is reasonably similar, it just doesn't have the swashes. So let's create the swashes now. And this makes the X look so much better and so much more elegant. And then we're going to do the Y. And again, this would normally have two thick downstrokes, but the extended script version only has one. And then again here, you might like to not pull the second part of the Y all the way up to the top. This is up to you. As long as the second part of the Y is all thin, it'll look very, very nice and elegant. And then we have the Z here as well. Traditionally, this would look something like this with the two thick downstrokes, but in my extended script version, I would only make the first part thick, and then the second part, I would create this quite thin like that. All right, so now we have all the letters of the alphabet completed, but now I want to actually show you some words as well, because that's where that tricky part comes in. The letters themselves are not super difficult, especially if you've done calligraphy before, but the connection of those letters, that's where it matters. What's really difficult about the extended script is to have the same distance between all of your letters. That's what makes this script look really, really nice. And that's why you want to practice the words with the little helper lines, so you can have the exact same distance between all of your words. Let me show you what this looks like. And you can see now why it's really important that we create the end of the stroke and have a little bend here so that we can connect it nicely with the next letter. Now, if you have a longer word like this, you want to find some stopping points so that you can reposition your worksheet. And usually a good stopping point is the beginning of a T or an I like this. So this is what it looks like. So we can stop here, and then we can reposition the sheet, and then we can carry on with the next letter. E is usually a good stopping point as well, like this, and then S like that as well. And this is how you can write the longer words. Then here we've got remember, this is a long word again. So we need to find some suitable stopping points here as well. The R is normally not a good letter to stop. So we really want to make sure that you can complete the R in one stroke, but because we've got the T here, we can easily carry on like this. And now over to you. You can grab these practice sheets from my website. I very much recommend that you do the warm-up drills first, and then you can start practicing to be able to create these beautiful lettering pieces yourself. I really hope you found this video useful. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then I'm also going to bloop up another couple of videos with different lettering styles so you can keep watching and you can get some more inspiration of beautiful lettering pieces that you can create. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.